Hey guys, real quick. So TikTok is removing my videos for violating community guidelines. I'm not exactly sure what guideline I violated in my Charlie Kirk video, because the only thing I can think of maybe would be like if I blew smoke out of my mouth or something in that video. Sometimes I talk and smoke comes out. But I want to talk a little again about free speech and how I don't believe the majority of Americans out there truly believe in this sacred gift that we have in the United States. Words are very powerful, and of course there's going to be consequences when you misuse words or you abuse words. There was a story in the news out of Portage, Michigan. I got my hamster 6 weeks ago in Portage at the Petco. An Office Depot? I think it was Office Depot. A manager there allegedly refused to print flyers advertising a candlelight vigil for Charlie Kirk. And she wouldn't do it because she said it was propaganda. Now, I worked in customer service for over 20 years. That's all I ever did. All I have ever done, aside from cleaning some villas, but even when I was cleaning villas, I was waitressing. So I've always worked in customer service since I was like 16. Because my dad owned an irrigation business and I did customer service on the phone and stuff, when I was 16. So, her customer service alone was very poor. Now, I have a lot of opinions about things in life, and I disagree with a lot of things that people do. But when it comes to customer service, it doesn't matter if that person is fat, skinny, black, white, trans, blonde, brunette, you get it, okay? It doesn't matter. You treat everybody the same. You know, this gentleman justly went into a business to make some copies, and he was denied that because of that person's political views, which is totally unprofessional. Man, you know, I didn't get to use my political views at my frickin' work, during COVID and stuff, The one thing, though, I will give my boss, during COVID, he said, because one day this lady I had it with people's attitudes. I'd had it with the way people were behaving. Society was really nasty during that time. I started just uncontrollably crying. He said when customers are rude to you and like start yelling at you to just walk away and go get a manager. And that was definitely good advice. Yeah, and back to TikTok. I like TikTok because I feel like there's a lot of engagement on there. People make fun of me really bad on there, but I keep going. Like, I get a lot of negativity and stuff like that, but not always, not all. I think too, is when it comes down to it, the system, the government, and all these platforms, because they're all in cahoots with the governments of the world, they don't want us talking to each other about important things that could get our minds stirring up. You know, they act like they fear radicalization of people, but they freaking do it themselves. I think is Maxine Waters, is she the African American lady? I don't know what her job is, but there was this video of her telling all the liberals to like get up in people's faces, allegedly, of course. This is just like what I'm remembering from the video. But she was basically inciting in a way. I think it could be considered inciting. And hey, guess what, guys? I'm getting a computer. My in-laws are giving me a computer, and I'm going to be able to like set up a video editing thing and be able to do like reaction videos and stuff. Oh my gosh, I've come so far. I used to not know how to edit, and I finally found myself this cutesy little video editor. And now I'll probably get something a little nicer. Yeah, I'm already losing friends on Facebook. Not sure who. I'm kind of thinking, it kind of seems like every time I talk about free speech and why it's important not to shut each other down, people like delete me out of spite. And that says a lot about them if that brings them pleasure. I mean, that's kind of sadistic in a way. I mean, that's you, dude. Okay. I feel like the conservative right, because I'm sort of like in the center. I'm like center right, I guess. Middle right, or whatever you want to call it, because I'm kind of liberal in some stuff, just a few things. I think the Democratic Party has like officially fallen apart. I knew it was like evident with the way the campaign went last year with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Freaking, I think he died and got replaced for sure. The left seems to have it in their heads. Okay, no, let's say, sorry. Okay, so during the Trump administration, conservatives were deplatformed. Our stuff wasn't allowed to be shared a lot of the times. It got called misinformation. We were called bigots. There was a lot of like rioting, and there was all this aggression from the left. And after a while, it started rubbing the world the wrong way, and that's why Trump got back into office, because people were sick of it and are abandoning the Democratic Party in record numbers now that all these people are coming out saying they're happy that they're celebrating somebody died. Somebody got murdered in front of his kids. I don't care. I didn't really watch him because, like, once in a while he'd pop up on my algorithm, especially during the campaign. But he's a little bit younger than me. I'm 42, and he appealed to a much younger audience. That was his target audience, so that didn't, like, get recommended to me a lot. But now I think the right is retaliating, and I don't agree with what they're doing either. People are losing their jobs, and this is a really bad time to be out of work because of, you know, things are really expensive. And I don't agree necessarily with what these people are saying. I think it's wrong. But I don't know, like my husband, his job has a social media policy. So I guess it kind of like depends on the job. Like, you know, your employer may very well have a social media policy that goes against posting things like that. So yeah, in that regard, I guess he should be fired. I don't know. I feel like the right is retaliating and they're giving the left a dose of their own medicine. I am personally staying out of it. Like I said, I have friends on both sides, and yeah, I do like tend to criticize the liberals a lot harder because I think they're okay, I don't think it's like liberals, because I think you can have like a liberal. Okay, I have like liberal friends who are relatively normal, nice people. It's like the radical left, the neoliberals, they're just as bad as, you know, these MAGA people you say are bigots, which I don't really think they are, but I know MAGA makeup gets made fun of a lot, and I'm like, oh, I guess, you know, I'm always talking about how I don't really fit into anything, and like, I kind of fit in with the MAGA makeup ladies, like, that's something in public that women with makeup on kind of notice about each other. Like, if I see another girl with makeup on, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know? I guess in Dead End Kid news, Bobby Jordan, the youngest of the Dead End Kids, he was my favorite one. His, death anniversary came up on September 10th, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff about him that you could like read and look at pictures and stuff. And kind of a fun fact, his son is in those groups, and I talked to his son quite a bit. It's, really cool. It kind of like validated my Dead End love of the Dead End Kids. You know, it's like they're as children proud to see that people watch their parents' movies and stuff like that. You know, child actors from the 1930s. These are like almost 100 years ago. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a group on Facebook for Bobby Jordan, and his son posts like family pictures in there and stuff like that. So it just, like, when I was younger in high school, I was interested in a group called Together. It was a boy band from MTV. Still a huge fan of them, but for the most part, I listened to music from like the 1930s, and I listened to old music. I don't know, but I also listened to like classic rock and all that stuff too. I don't know. My music library is so diverse. It is huge. If a song is good, I'll listen to it. I don't care what genre it's in. Anyway, so why I wanted to talk about Bobby is that he was only 42 when he passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. He was a heavy drinker, a very heavy drinker. So he was a child actor, one of the highest paid child actors of his time at one time. And he was in the war and things like that, and he returned to Hollywood, and things weren't quite the same as how he had left them. Because they became, when they were Dead End Kids, they became East Side Kids and Little Tough Guys. They had all these, like, little mini-series, and then, they became the Bowery Boys, and what happened with that was the setup changed, and they kind of put Bobby in the background, where he wasn't getting a whole lot of lines. He wasn't really part of the plot so much anymore, because when you watched the East Side Kids, he was, like, he had a storyline, you know? But the Bowery Boys, they were quite famous. I think they came on, like, Saturday morning cartoons for a long time when, like, my parents would have been kids. Yeah, there was, like, a time in school one time when I was talking about the Dead End Kids or something like that, and this, like, teacher's aide called me creepy for liking old movies and stuff like that, and, like, I never got made fun of for that by anybody in school. Nobody made fun of me for my weird interests, okay? Except the frickin' teachers! Yeah, I can say I definitely, like, got along with everybody in school, and I had a very good time. I had too good of a time, really. Not so much studying, more partying. So, like, talking to people who share my love of the Dead End Kids has been very validating to me, and I'm, like, watching movies that I've never been able to get a hold of. If you want to see a good one, watch Crime School. Humphrey Bogart's in that one. And then Ronald Reagan was in a movie with them. The Angels Wash Their Faces. They did one with James Cagney. They did a couple with Humphrey Bogart. He was in Dead End. But anyway, I thought I was a Dead End Kid encyclopedia until I met people on the internet. Well, I guess that's it today, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.